I have been arguing, in a sense, with Catholics on Twitter for the past week over this. So this is going to be uncut, off the cuff, but I wanted to talk about this real quick because I haven't posted on this YouTube channel in a while. This is where we've been meeting for Bible study and whatnot, all the live streams. It's at Live Bible Study. I'll leave a link to this in the description and in the pin chat. And then in case you aren't already a part of this, we have a Discord. There's over 200 people in it now. This is where everything is organized. This is where all of everybody meets and talks. It's the community. All the real ones, I say, from social media eventually wander into the Discord. So I'll leave a link to that down there as well. Now, the thing is this, is Pope Francis said, there is only one God, and each of us has a language to arrive at God. Some are Sikh, Muslim, Hindu, Christian, and there are different paths to God. This article is from the Christian Post. I want to read some of it, but most of it is unimportant. They did make some things, they pointed some things out that I would have pointed out anyways, so I just want to read through it. So if Francis is correct, then Jesus was wrong when he stated, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one, baby girl, no one comes to the Father except through me. That's from John 14. And the author says, I hope you realize that Jesus was not wrong about anything he ever said. I'd like to add to that in saying that if Jesus was wrong in anything he said, the New Testament immediately just becomes an not only archaic, but an irrelevant collection of texts, collection of epistles. All of it just becomes absolutely irrelevant on its face immediately in a second. One other thing that I wanted to point out with this that was important. Obviously, anybody who's dedicated to their faith at all, whether they be Muslim, Hindu, or Christian, none of them agree with this. None of them. Because it doesn't make any sense. They all believe different things. This concept of all religions are a path to God, quote, unquote. That there is only one God, but each of us has a different language, and the religion is the language, is kind of what the insinuation is. Nobody believes that. And at the end of this, I'm going to tell you why I believe he says this, because this isn't the first time that it's been alluded to. I think I have a firm grasp on why he says it, why this is the principle that he's pushing, and I'll show you at the very end. But the first thing I do want to point out is this, Sheik. I'm not sure if he just doesn't know what this means or what, but this would be an Arab leader. In particular, the chief or head of an Arab tribe, family, or village. So what I think he meant was Sikhism. I don't know if it was maybe a misspeak or maybe a misquote on the part of the journalist. I'm not sure. Either way, it's a religion that is in no way consistent with Christianity at all, whatsoever. Zero. Then you have Muslim. What do we know about the Muslim God? There's a bit of an argument here because it is an Abrahamic religion. Judaism, Christianity, and the Muslim, Islamism, sorry. They're all Abrahamic religions. Okay, so that they do have in common. All that really means, to say it in the simplest possible way, and it's not this simple, but to express it in the simplest way, is that they all kind of have the same foundation, and then at some point they all split. So for Christians, Christianity and Judaism stayed the same up until the concept of the Messiah started to actually play into it. Meaning that us as Christians, we know that we still use the Old Testament. Why? Well, because we believe that that is the foundation of everything. And then the Messiah that was talked about in the Old Testament is Jesus Christ. Jews differ because they don't believe Jesus was the Messiah that was talked about. And so they don't believe that that messianic prophecy has been fulfilled. Muslims, again, to do it or to say it in the absolute simplest way, is at a point in the Old Testament, they believe different characters were actually doing different things. And then the prophets kind of split. And then the Muslims have their own collection, their own ending to the story. It's much more complicated than that, but that's the best way to say it. So we all started in the same place. Christians took it all the way through to the New Testament because of what we believe about Jesus. Jews stopped because they don't believe any of it was fulfilled. And Muslims took it all the way to their conclusion on a different path, I guess. So foundation is the same. The problem is this, is that Allah is not a part of the Christian Trinity. So Muslims believe that Allah is not a part of the Christian Trinity and that he has no parents or children. It's not cohesive with Christianity, meaning it's not cohesive with what we believe to be as God. It doesn't work. None of it works. Then if you go to Hinduism, I don't need to show you anything other than this. Which one? Which God? It's on its face, it makes no sense. None. Because there are dozens of gods. So which one is the real one? Which one is the one God? Because he even said there was only one God. And then he names a religion that has many gods. Many gods. So to keep this as short as possible, this is my belief of why the Pope specifically, because I know Catholics don't believe this. I know it. And the only Catholics who I've argued with on Twitter about it are the ones that know nothing about the history of Catholicism. They know nothing about what the Roman Catholic institution, not Catholics, not even Roman Catholics, but the Roman Catholic institution, the system, at the core, they have no idea what they've been a part of even recently. Pope to World Government Summit. There is no development without solidarity. If you look into this, you will find over the past handful of years, the Catholic system, not Catholics, not even Roman Catholics, baby girl, but the almost governmental system of Catholicism, the very tippy top of the top. These people are dreadfully involved in the government. And when I say the government, I don't necessarily mean the US government, but they are involved in a lot of governments across the globe. And even in this concept of a one world government, without getting too conspiracy theory on you, it's all easily accessible information. You can find it. Do your research. I won't preach conspiracy to you. But it would make perfect sense if the Pope and his cronies, never mind, I won't make that joke. If the Pope and his cronies had interests in multiple governments that just so happen to be, maybe those that are Muslim, maybe even those that are, Hindu? It's as if he's trying to play all sides. Why might they do that? Why might the Pope want to do that? Because he needs to stay in good graces with all of them. Because you can't run around being a fundamental Christian pusher that there is only one God, like following things that Jesus said, who is God, right? God was reconciling the world to himself in Christ, not counting men's sins against them. If righteousness could be gained through the law, Christ died for nothing. There is no way to appease the world religions without abandoning Christ. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way to appease the world religions without even abandoning the God of the Old Testament. Because the Muslims took it in a totally different direction. Hinduism has nothing to do with Christianity whatsoever. And the Jews never took it to its fulfillment, the Messianic prophecy. There is no way to appease the Middle East. There is no way to appease any of the areas or regions that practice Hinduism. And there is no way to appease Israel if you are a pusher of the gospel of Jesus Christ. There's no way. So on a practical level, knowing what the Pope is involved in governmentally, not US government, but world government, on a practical level, I totally understand what he's doing. It's trying to be all things to all people, but not in the same context that Paul talks about it, in a very different context. Because Paul was talking about it in terms of spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ, and the Pope is doing it in the context of not spreading the gospel as to not upset different people of different governments and religious systems. It's just something to think about, because because it matters. This is in our group, in our Bible study, in our Discord, in our live streams and stuff. We talk a lot about like the difference between what is essential, and those are the things we should have debate on. Those are the things we should have conversation on. Those are the things that we should not just let go and let them lie. Those are the essential things. Those are important. This is essential because this is a spitting in the face of Jesus Christ. On the other hand, we have the non-essential things, which are the majority. And those are the things you can have some debate on, but they should never split the church. They should never break up relationships. They should never cause discontent amongst Christians because they are literally non-essential. This is not that. This is essential. So if we cannot all agree that the Pope is absolutely wrong, on its face, this is a lie, this is heretical, this is not Christian, and this is an attempt to appease other religions, at the very least, if not other religions in context of government and governmental unity amongst all of the one world government, we have to be able to agree on that. Otherwise, we can't agree on anything because it is essential. And that is the type of thing that should split a church. This is that thing. This is one of those things. So if you are Catholic, I have no issue with you. We have Catholic people in our group. I grew up very, very, very Catholic. Went to Catholic school. Wore the uniform and all. No issue. But this is, unfortunately for you, this is your moment where you have to, if you're being honest and if you're actually a Christian, which is what a Catholic should be, when you say, oh, I denounce this, this is heresy, you can still be a Catholic. Because it's not that you're not Catholic if you denounce the Pope, it's that the Pope is not Catholic to begin with. The Pope is not a Christian to begin with. You know what I mean? I hope that this is something, for the most part, we can agree on. It's open and shut to me. I'd be interested to hear what you guys have to say about it. Remember, though, there will be a link to the new YouTube channel where we're doing all the live Bible studies. We're doing them twice a week right now, but we'll be adding a third. And there's a link to the Discord where we all hang out. And we have all walks of Christianity in here. And that is what makes this so beautiful. We disagree on so many things, but we all stay because this is church. What we do is church. And other ones exist, so if you're already part of one, stay there. Be a part of the community. But if you don't have one, and you'd like to have a bunch of intelligent people around you to ask questions, which is what's happening all day, every day up in here, I highly recommend checking it out. There is always a brain-racking conversation going on, and I guarantee you'll benefit from it. I love you guys. I am shook a bit by the current state of things. But maybe it's just because I've been on social media more lately. I don't know. I love you. Have a good night.